Okay, I want this one to be a short one. Hopefully this moves you forward. The only reason I do these videos is because I think something that I say that has something to do with what I learned in my lifetime, working with thousands of people and overcoming a lot of personal adversity. I hope that would just impact people to go ahead, be great, do what they need to do, and thrive on this planet. I think we're all better when individuals are better, because individuals become communities, they become groups, and ultimately they become all of us. So this one is a short one, and I would want to bring out the fact that a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now, doing jobs that they don't want to do right now. Their families might not be there where they want their families to be. Their relationships might not be happening. You might not have a partner to share this world with so far. And so I want you to look at that. Whatever is missing, maybe you don't have the money you want. Whatever is missing, wherever you are right now in your journey, you have to go through this point in order to go to the place that you have ordained yourself to get. The one that you think you're here on the planet to live towards. The abundance you want to feel, the love you want to feel, the connectedness, the relationship, that perfect job you want to have, the things you want to do on the planet. You got to go through this right now. If you don't go through this right now, then you'll never get there. And it's definitely individual to each person. So my journey is not going to be your journey. What I have to do to overcome my limiting beliefs and the things that hold me back are going to be different than yours. So you have to be smart enough and emotionally intelligent enough to look inside of you and say what is holding you back. I dare you to write it down on paper. I dare you to understand where you are and where you want to go. Have this huge vision that you're working towards, and then do what it takes to write it down and say, really, this is what's holding me back. You know, if you do that, what it does is it brings a connection between this arbitrary land of milk and honey and riches that you see, which is your goal, and then where you are. Like, it might seem light years away if you don't write it down on paper what the steps to take to get there. But if you write them down, you'll be able to see, like, oh man, maybe this is not as far off as I thought it was. Or it might bring you to the reality of, like, yeah, it's going to take the help of God to get me here, because it's just so far and I can't see how. But writing out that plan, writing out that path, that's the first step, and that's the most important step. Then develop faith in yourself that you can get there. So how do you develop the faith mentally that you will get to where it is that you want to be? Is you have to change the relationship that you have with yourself around not doing things you said you're going to do. Because if you can't do little things you say you're going to do on a regular basis, then your soul, your subconscious mind, that inner being is not going to trust that you could get there. So either you'll sabotage yourself, you won't put forth the effort needed to get to your goal or your dream. You just won't, you don't believe yourself. On a fundamentally deep ass level, you just don't believe yourself. So this is why, this is a lot of reasons why a lot of people set goals and never get there. Well, I've achieved a lot of goals in my life, and I had to sort of trick myself into knowing myself as a person who just gets shit done. You know, I put myself through college. I've had the best jobs. I've made six figures as a trainer. I've increased the amount of awareness that I have around other human beings. I have great relationships. These are the things that I created for myself that I never saw were possible until I wrote them down. Until I saw what it would really take, until I seen how much I had to change myself in order to reach the goals. So write it down. It's crazy important. And then do little things that make you trust yourself again. Say at 5 o'clock, I'm going to do 10 push-ups. Then when 5 o'clock comes, I don't care where you are, do 10 push-ups. Boom. That's a little tiny string that says to yourself on a physical level, on a mental level, and on a creative level that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. That's a small, tiny win. Give yourself that. And then make it a bigger one next time. And when you feel more capable, make a bigger one. And say, in 4 weeks, I'm going to have this. Or in 3 weeks, I'm going to reach out to this person. Or I'm going to have this goal by this time. So you got to start tiny to get big. And then you have to connect the dots in order to make it real. And a big part of making anything real is we have to believe that it's possible. You won't even get started if you don't believe it's possible. Man, that's real talk. So that's called self-efficacy. If we don't have self-efficacy or the ability to believe that will make it happen, then you're shot. You're dead before you even got started. So write down that path, write down that plan, write down that goal, and see what kind of jump you have to make or what kind of tiny baby steps you have to make in order for you to get there. That's a crazy key, a crazy secret. It took me maybe like 28, 29 years to figure that out. I did the things that I created the life that I'm living now, and I created, you know, coming from where I came from, and I did a lot of it subconsciously, but I took little tips from people that were way ahead of where I thought I could get. And one of those little tips was writing down that plan, that outline, that little thing. A lot of us want stuff and don't even write anything down. It ain't real until you write it. This is Dre. I'm done. And as always, you're greater than any past circumstances. You're greater than any current conditions. And ultimately, you are responsible for sharing the greatest version of yourself with the planet. Peace. Oh, look at this watch. I love it.